What up? We're back with more tattoo TikToks. Today we'll be exploring the bowels. Shouldn't have said that. We're not doing that. We're gonna be checking out all the good stuff, and how else can I say this? There's a lot of bad tattoos out there. There's a lot of good ones too. We're gonna take a look at them both. We're gonna be starting off with a good one. Let me paint the scene for you, okay? Hi, I'd like to get a back piece. Sure, you wanna lay down right now? Oh, we're not gonna schedule it just now? Yeah, just get on the table. We could be done in a couple hours. That seems unreasonably quick. It is. It's what we're dealing with here. This tattoo artist did this back piece in 3 hours. And that is not the flex you think it is. A back piece is not something that should take 3 hours. It's your entire back, the biggest single piece of real estate anybody has as far as tattooing goes. And 3 hours is an insane amount of time to spend on a back piece. Most back pieces, I would say we're at least looking at 15 to 25 hours on a back piece. So 3 hours, it's not a flex. It's not a flex to be fast at tattooing if the tattoo's gonna look like shit, which this one does. Spoiler alert, if your tattoo looks amazing and you're fast, that's awesome. I'm happy for you, proud of you. But for your tattoo to end up looking like this, don't be bragging about how long it took you. There's some insane textures going on in here that don't make any sense. And if we're dealing with faces, I feel like this should have been symmetrical. There's things you could have done to make it look more symmetrical. The eyes aren't symmetrical. The nose isn't symmetrical. It's not even going down the center of the split doesn't even go down the center of her back. Why are we seeing like 60% of each nose? Wouldn't it be 50-50? Makes more sense in my head. I don't know what any of these weird swirls are on the bottom that are just kind of going in random directions. It looks like it was done in 3 hours. Not a flex. Terrible tattoo. Oh, God. And it's just on your back. Huge. It's not the worst tattoo that has ever existed, okay? Let's get that out of the way. But this ain't it. Moving along here. When I think of a tattoo having flow, I think of something like this. This is almost excessively leaning into how this guy's muscles contour the body. Like this whole piece, it just feels like it's trying to make him look like his muscles are bigger. Maybe that's not the goal, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. I mean, he has his six pack is basically tattooed on him now. His pecs are like tattooed now. His shoulders are framed out. The muscles on his back are framed out. I think it looks good. I like it. It's really interesting. It's not something I would get. It feels a little too on the nose for me. But I did want to talk about how this tattoo on this guy's back is not centered. And I'm going to explain that a little bit. In some contexts, it will be centered, and in others, it won't. And that's just kind of the nature of tattoos. It's like that whole twist tattoo thing that was going around, like people just realize that their tattoos move with their skin. This is what's going on here. Look, the human body is not perfectly symmetrical, okay? Bodies are weird. Bodies are all fucked up and not perfect, okay? And that's totally fine. But when you try to make a tattoo that will look its best on a symmetrical part of the body, it's gonna be hard to make it look that good when it's not symmetrical. So this person has their spine, the bones, right, that are close to being right in the center of their body. And then they also have muscles on top of that. And their muscles aren't going to be perfectly symmetrical. Their spine isn't going to move perfectly symmetrically down their body. This tattoo just ends up not looking perfectly symmetrical. It looks good. This is just kind of the reality of tattoos. They're not going to look perfectly symmetrical, especially some line work like this that's isolated and very visible on top of the skin. If there was like way more coverage here, huge back piece, you could hide that a little better, but as it sits, it's pretty cool. Oh, I think I know what's coming here. Everything's fine. We're zooming in on, yep, knew it. Text, what does this even say? Everything's fine. They missed the Y in everything. Now, by the way they're laughing, this actually looks real. This looks like it was an accident. And if that's the case, if you accidentally fucked up the spelling of the tattoo, especially on your hand, bummer, that sucks. But this is probably the best word that you could have misspelled on you. Or the best phrase. This is the best phrase you could have misspelled on you. Everything's fine? Like, come on. It almost felt like it had to be intentional, but that, unless they're fucking really good actors, that's like, everything's fine? It's like a tattoo. It's like when you get like no regrets tattooed on you. And you're like, oh, but it's actually regrets. And you're like, oh, but I spelled it wrong and I still don't have any regrets. You know what I mean? It's like that. but everything's fine. I guess a PSA, if you're gonna get a word misspelled on you, make it like ironic that if make it ironic that if it could be misspelled, it would be ironic, I guess. Seems hard to plan that out. I digress. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, bullet hole tattoos on the face. Couple things. This person's not making the best choices. They got some pretty gnarly face tattoos. Yikes. When I saw these tattoos, I couldn't help but feel like they just, especially this one on the temple, like just looks like a meteor. It's not really reading as bullet hole. The other one on the cheek kinda is reading bullet hole. The blood around it is just so weird. Also, the size of it's kind of weird. It's a little too big, I feel like. I don't know. I'm not a bullet expert. I'm sure there's various sizes of bullets, but I don't know. They're not reading bullet to me. Kind of a weird tattoo. I hate it. It kind of makes you look like, I mean, with all these other tattoos, what is on your cheek over there? See, all these tattoos, just like the red and the black, and you can't really tell what it is, especially on your face. Just like fucking, God, it doesn't even makes you look less like a person. That sounded really fucked up to say that. The person's still a person. Oh, I'm backing myself into a corner here. They kind of look like a zombie, okay? There. I said it. You look like you got some sort of disease or something. It doesn't look like a tattoo. It doesn't look like bullet holes. It's not legible. You can't tell what it is. Sorry. You ever moved a tattoo before? I don't even remember this video. Client wanted Johnny Silver hand tattoos that are specifically on his right arm, so we moved his clover to the other wrist. Damn, I like that. That's cool. I haven't seen that done before. That's an interesting concept. It doesn't really work with everything, but hey, something to consider. People always say tattoos are permanent. Are they though? They're not as permanent as people make them out to be. Yeah, they're permanent. They're probably gonna be there when you die. But if you think creatively, they're not that permanent. You can get stuff touched up. Okay. You can get stuff blasted over. Okay. You can get cover-ups. Laser exists. I don't love laser, but it exists. It works sometimes. Fuck, now we're in a whole new category. We're just moving them. I mean, technically, this was just a cover-up and a new tattoo, but I like to think of it as we moved the tattoo. I like that. Creative problem solving right there. Let's continue. What do we think of this back piece? I don't know how I feel about it. I do know that if I saw this as a painting, it would look really fucking cool, and I'd probably I would hang this painting up, right? I could do it fucking right over there, man. But as a back piece, I think it's just like this like green color. I'm not a fucking color scientist, okay? I don't know what little subcategory of green this is, but there's just a lot of it, and it's weird, and I'm not the biggest fan of it just like ending somewhat randomly and abruptly as it frames out this person's back. I just don't like this massive block of color. Not personally really feeling it. I think it would have looked better without it and just having all this other stuff, the hands, the little flowers, the skull. I think that would have been cooler. The massive color block, it's just not doing it for me. Yeah, man. I would love this as a painting, though. That's where I'm at with this. Not everything needs to be tattooed. Okay, moving on. Scream when it hurts. Okay, yeah, so just let me know when it hurts. Oh my God, it looks so good. Oh, fuck, dude. So true. That is, I don't know. Actually, is that a hot take? I don't agree with that. Definitely, tattoos are expensive. But by the time I'm like there getting the tattoo, like that money's already gone in my head. I already spent it. Doesn't hurt that much then. I don't know. Just like the last handful of tattoos I got were like really painful. So I don't know. Tattoos hurt a lot. The whole thing sucks. It's terrible. I hate getting tattooed. Why do I keep doing it? Am I ever going to stop? Probably not. I'm definitely addicted. It's just like so sick to get a new tattoo though. And then you like have that new tattoo. I fucking hate it. What else we got? What the fuck is going? Oh, this is the tattoo. Oh shit. No way. That's fucking crazy. Okay, all right, I see you. I see you. How do you feel about it? How do we feel about this? I think it's creative. I think it's cool. I think it makes for a really interesting tattoo. I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's like a something that I think of as like a tatter's tat, like a tattoo that a tattooer would have. You know what I mean? Or somebody who's like really serious about like collecting tattoos. I'm more of an enthusiast myself. I wouldn't say I'm a collector, but I don't know. I would just rather have the rose done all the way as a rose. Not that I think this looks bad per se. I think it's just like not really something that I'm interested in having on my body. But it was well done. It looks good. It tricked me, so it's fucking definitely good. Hell, I don't know, man. What do you think? Would you get something like this? Okay, red ink tattoos.
As someone with nearly 30 red ink tattoos, let me give you a little bit of advice before you get inked. Don't get fucking red ink tattoos. Don't even think about it. Worst decision of my life, easily. I wish I'd gone for blue. I wish I could rip my skin off. Like, this is hell. It's hell on
Okay,
earth.
we're gonna cut them off there. It goes on for another 2.5 minutes. That's too long. If you don't know, red ink is the most likely tattoo ink that anybody's gonna be allergic to. Now, I don't make inks. I'm not an allergist, but I can tell you that that's the case. Most people, if they're gonna be allergic to any inks, it's gonna be red ink. Now, I can tell you about my experience with red ink. I have this, I guess you could just say line work, rose on my torso in red ink. I got this almost 10 years ago with just the intention that it would be used as a blast over. I thought it would look cool to get stuff on top of it, so that's been the plan. That tattoo is the itchiest tattoo I have, and it's, like I said, almost 10 years old. It's so fucking itchy. Not constantly, okay? I will say not constantly, but if you have tattoos, you'll know that every once in a while, sometimes a tattoo will flare up. Certain tattoos will flare up. Certain colors might flare up, get a little raised, bumpy, itchy. This is the only one that happens to, my red ink tattoo. None of my other tattoos that happens to. And it gets incredibly itchy. I used to work in a kitchen near a grill, and every day at work, it would just get so irritated and inflamed just because it's red ink. That's the truth. It happens. I can't tell you why. If you have any red ink tattoos, I would love to hear your experiences with them in the comments, but this is it's just the case. And I think right now, more than ever, red ink tattoos are trending. They're really popular, especially all solid red ink tattoos, red outline, filled in red. Pretty popular right now. And maybe not all these people are aware of the likelihood of being allergic to red ink. Certainly something that I think people should know about before getting into getting red ink tattoos. I mean, like the guy in the video said, he wishes he would have done another color. Would I advise you to do that? No, I'm not going to advise you to do anything. That's not my position. I don't give a fuck what you do. But I do think it's important to know red ink, you might be allergic. Nothing is going to happen to you. You're going to be fine. It's just something to consider before you get the tattoo. Capiche? Moving on. Wow, holy saturation. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. I've never seen, I guess I'll just call this a bodysuit. I've never seen one that saturated. Oh my goodness. I wonder if this guy got other tattoos underneath here and then blacked them out. It's hard to say. Man, I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be really curious to learn about kind of the order of operations this guy got tattooed in. Like, what was first? When do you plan to get something this large scale? Man, as like a guy with patchwork tattoos, this is so hard for me to relate to. A bodysuit is like the furthest thing away from the type of tattoos that I get. I will think about a tattoo. I have a tattoo appointment in, 2 weeks? And I have no idea what I'm gonna get. And I'm probably not gonna, maybe I'll figure something out before the appointment. I'm probably just gonna figure out when I get there. So planning out an entire bodysuit is unfathomable. I think it looks so good though. I mean, especially like, obviously quality matters. These tattoos are so good. The saturation is just insane on this blackout. I wonder how many times you go over it. Man, all that I can think of when I see this is pain and money. And if that isn't the biggest flex, what is next? My dumbass tattoos I got when I was 14. All right, let's talk about them. Got a phoenix Wow, that's really bad. Just a low quality tattoo. I'm not surprised for being 14. Kind of crazy placement. I like where it's placed. Just really fucked you up. Moth on the upper chest up there. I don't love that it's not symmetrical. Kind of a spot that feels like you would want a symmetrical moth. It's not a good tattoo. You got it when you're 14, not surprised. Maison Margiela logo on your arm, that's fine. Dragon, I don't know why so much of that fell out. And, whew, man, yeah, the trees going around the wrist, that's classic. Look, nobody's getting good tattoos at 14, okay? Very few people are getting good tattoos at 18. All the tattoos I got when I was 18, as somebody who is now 27, I don't like them. Okay, it's not that they're not me anymore. They're just so stupid. Like, I didn't know enough to be getting tattoos. I wish I would have done more research. I wish I would have looked at more tattoos. I wish I would have followed more tattoo artists on Instagram. I wasn't even really doing any of that. I didn't think about it. I didn't know about it. And that's like kind of the goal behind why I started making content in the first place, was I would have benefited from hearing from clients. As somebody who was just starting off getting tattoos, maybe not having any tattoos, but I'm curious. Like, I think it would have been beneficial, at least for me, looking back, to have had a resource like this, to hear from clients, hear what they wish they would have done differently, what they wish they knew back then. It's all about learning from people's mistakes, right? And when you're 14, fuck, dude, you're not making good choices. Most of the time, you're not. Especially if you're getting a tattoo. If you're getting a tattoo at 14, it's not going to be good, period. So if you're 14 and you want a tattoo, don't just fucking relax, dude. Draw something, okay? Chill out. You don't need a tattoo. Get it later. You're going to make a better choice later. I promise you. What else we got? This has to be the most legible back piece I've ever seen, maybe? Is that the right word for it? It's definitely the boldest back piece I've ever seen. That's without a doubt. Man, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. It's really cool. Oh, hey, buddy. You see my cat? Say hi. A word for the viewers at home? He has spoken. Look, I think legibility is one of the most important aspects of a good tattoo, okay? Can you look at it and tell what it is? And when you look at this tattoo, without a doubt, you can tell what it is. And because it's so bold and so simple and so easy to read, you can see this thing from a fucking mile. And I think maybe for me, might be a little too far, a little excessive, but I think that's obviously kind of the point of this back piece. It looks insane. Great tattooing. Really fucking cool. If somebody took their shirt off and this was their back piece, I'd kind of fucking nerd out a little bit. I would be asking them so many questions about it. Man, that'd be really annoying of me to do that, but I'd do it. I don't care. It looks cool. I like it. Badass tattooing. I love it. Okay, we got two more, and they're both hard watches. So
people are always asking about the meaning of tattoos, so I thought it would be interesting to get one that addressed this in an unexpected way. My tattoo's meaning is that it's utilitarian. I really do use it, be it for measuring artwork, tools, or screws. But it also does have other meanings. It lets people know that I work with my hands and build things. It's also in centimeters and inches because I use both. I was born in the US, live in Hong Kong, and work across Asia. I also have a thing for industrial design, if you can't tell from the gallery. And there is something more physical and philosophical kind of happening too. My body is not rigid. My arm bends, and with that bend, the measurements change. It makes me think about the necessary restrictions required to measure something and what that entails. How are we to measure the more ephemeral qualities of life? How can you measure a life well lived or measure a body in motion across time? So anyways, right. I like it because it means a lot.
I want to start off by saying I mean no shade to this individual. I'm very happy that they have a cool, personalized, meaningful tattoo that they use. I think that's great. I like the idea of a tattoo that is useful. I think that's kind of cool. I can get behind that. The meaning for me is just a bit of a stretch. It kind of just strikes me as a little fake and performative. It feels like I'm 13 and this is deep. It makes you question the accuracy of measuring some of life's more qualitative aspects. What does a measurement really mean? I don't know. I think that's stupid. it feels dumb. At this point in my life, I'm not getting meaningful tattoos. I get tattoos because I like how they look and I want that art on my body. It's pretty simple for me at this point. I actually had a guy come up to me at the gym today. Ended up finding out that he was like, what do you say, 67 years old or something? Looked insane, by the way. But he was like asking me about like if I had any stories for the tattoos. And I was like, no, sorry to disappoint you. I just got them because I thought they looked cool. And I think for me, that works really well. And for other people, it might not work out that well. I'm not going to try to discourage anybody from getting meaningful tattoos. But I do reserve the right to make fun of the meaning because I think it's kind of stupid. Sue me. Our last video and our most painful, buckle up. Oh, what are we doing here? That's so fucking gross. I do not like that. This is not tattooing. That's not even a tattoo in my book. That's something entirely different. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Okay, they're doing something different. That's fine. Be inventive. That's what art's for. I get it. To me, it feels a little gross, and it feels, I think, just dangerous is really what it comes down to. They've done a lot of really disgusting stuff. As far as tattooing goes, it's not safe. Okay, we're dealing with needles going into your skin. Okay, there's a lot of things that shouldn't be near this process. Fence at the park is one of them. I get the idea. It's not that I don't understand what they're doing. I think they have a lack of respect for what they're doing. They're putting people at risk by tattooing like this. It's fucking weird. It's gross. And I don't know, if I was a tattoo artist, I'd be fucking pissed to see people doing this. I don't like it, that's for sure. But ladies and gentlemen, we've done it yet again. Another video complete. Thanks for watching. And as always, if you want to see another one, then subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace.